Oh shit. Got it.
What's
Yeah.
going on, everyone? My name is Josie Reynolds, and today joining me is Nathanael Wood ahead of his next fight on UKFC, taking on Bobby Christensen. Ahead of that fight, how are you feeling for it, buddy?
No, I'm feeling excited. I'm feeling confident. I think it's like hardest I've worked for this one. But always work hard, but I work smart at this camp and change things a little bit. So yeah, looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, and as well, so far in pretty much every performance you've had, there's always been something different to your game, and you're always showing those sort of improvements in the cage as well. So, in terms of sort of getting that last fight, getting those 3 rounds of experience, what were you able to sort of take away from that, and what are some of the biggest differences you feel going into this fight?
Well, in that fight, I feel like I was about 60%. Like my grappling wasn't the best. So since that fight, I focused on my grappling a lot more. And it was just good experience. I think going into it as well. Okay, to be honest, I probably should have pulled out of that fight. Went in, I couldn't really breathe out my nose, so that was a big factor. But no, he was a better man on the day. No excuses. But yeah, good experience. Good experience. Got put in some tough spots during the fight. But yeah, all good experience. Especially with amateurs, I'd rather had a fight like that earlier on than later on and be like, oh shit, what do we do now? So yeah, I've gone down, filled some holes in my games and feeling good, feeling much more well rounded going into this one.
100%. And as well, sort of coming out of that fight and showing that you can go the 3 rounds where there's
Yeah,
adversity in the fight. You talked about obviously not being able to breathe out your nose and those things that coming up. So to know that you are able to tackle those moments of adversity in the cage or leading up to the fight as well, does it fill you with a bit more confidence in terms of going into the next fights, knowing you can handle those situations?
yeah, definitely. Because if I was at 50%, no. And to be honest, my conditioning is very very good. So feel feel confident going into this one. Feel very 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 prepared. So yeah, going to see the best version of me on fight night, definitely.
Yeah, and as well, obviously, some of the team that you're working with, obviously, the Manchester top team with Carl Prince and then Daywalkers MMA, we are in Wilkinson. And then I
Yeah.
know you do a lot of bits with Malachi Edwards as well. But to have those sort of people to sort of work with and grow from, and all those training partners as well from both those gyms, what is that sort of like to be able to progress as a fighter as well, just so early on in your amateur career?
Yeah, it's great, man, because all the guys you mentioned, they've been there, they've done it, they've coached guys to the top levels. For example, Carl, he's coached Luce McGrillen, Lerone Murphy. Then you've got Az, he's been there with the top fight. He's been in the UFC, so he's been there since all. And Malachi is on his own. He's on his own path as well, building up. So yeah, it's good to take knowledge from them. They've always got time for me. Always there, always picking their brains. So it's good for me to have them in my corner as well, and especially seeing guys you train with, like you being there for the week and then on the Saturday they're fighting in the UFC. It's pretty mad, or PFL, Bellator, or whatever it is. So yeah, there's always big fights coming through the gym. So yeah, it's all good, motivating.
Yeah, and as well, obviously, those divisions that you're in, the 125s, the 135, obviously really stacked in both those gyms as well with a lot of names. And you mentioned there in
Yeah,
terms of obviously, seems like every week at the moment the gyms are something with the
yeah,
UFC,
yeah.
PFL, and these big events. So, what does that sort of do as a motivator as well to see all these different fighters going on to do these big things and knowing that those are positions that you could be in as well future down the line?
Yeah, it just shows that it can be done as long as you put your head down and do the right thing. It shows us a clear pathway to get to them big shows. So just got to take every day that comes as attack every day and just keep doing what I'm doing really, and um yeah, just keep getting better every day.
Yeah, and then moving back into sort of the fight, obviously Bobby Christensen. I don't know if you saw. He expects it to be a fight of the night, but do you want it
Yeah,
to be that sort of fight, or what are you looking to
yeah.
sort of do in this fight? Are you looking more for the finish, or do you see the same sort of thing as he does?
Nah, I'm looking for the finish. Now I'm not hunting for the finish, but I don't want to go. I'm not looking to go 3 rounds. It'd be good to go 3 rounds and have a good fight, but no, I'm there to show my level, and I'm not really there to have a back and forth fight or 50-50, or have the fight going into judges' hands. Because half the time the judges, nah, I can't be trusted sometimes. Some of these judges, but no, I'm looking for the finish, man. I won't be hunting for it, but if it comes, I'm taking it definitely.
Yeah, and as well, so when you do have these fights, and obviously both yourself and your opponent obviously still early on in your amateur career, so it means from fight to fight, there's always something big that's changing, and it's always ever evolving. So when you are preparing for opponents that have had a similar amount of fights for you, do you always feel as though what you prepared for before, there's something different that they've added. And do you feel as though it's the same thing for yourself as well, that you're never the same fighter when you do go into another fight?
Yeah, like you said, everyone's always and amateurs, everyone's always improving. So even if it's before 3 months ago, they're gonna have got better. Um, yeah, to be honest, I'm not expecting the best version of him. Anyone I fight, I see it as they're like the best person. Like I see them as a world beater, even though they might not be. I when I'm training, I see them as they're coming to hurt me. They're highly skilled, and I just take it and I take my camp in that approach. So yeah, I know I'll be my best version come fighting that. So I just hope he is as well.
Yeah, and when you do sort of get closer to the fights and they do start to get close, do you ever notice a sort of mentality change in terms of how you're feeling for the fight, or is the mentality the same throughout your camps in terms of preparing for these fights, or how would you say the sort of prep is for your fights when you start to move closer to the date?
From yeah, so close to the day, it just gets more intense and much more intense. And to be honest, I'm a calm person anyway, so I'm always pretty calm. But come fight night, I start to get quiet, and then I'm just prepping myself up for it. Um, but yeah, I'm always training hard, no matter what. All year round, I'm training hard. But fight camp, just extra push. Um, oh yeah.
Yeah, and then as well this year, obviously, I know you won't be looking after past this fight, but do you feel as though you still want to get another fight in this year, or what does the sort of rest of this year look like after this fight?
Yeah, definitely. What we are now. Um, it's going to be September 16th, so probably November or December, hopefully. Yeah. Um, yeah, definitely another one this year, and then I want to active next year, definitely. Because to be honest, I had since my debut, I think I had 3 fights in 7, 8 months. So this is the longest I've had off so far. But I feel like it was good for me because I've really just focused on improving, not just thinking fight to fight to fight. So yeah, but yeah, definitely another one November, December.
Yeah, and obviously you spoke there in terms of the first three fights that you have had as an amateur. The first two were both finishes, and then the last one you went all the 3 rounds. But to show that you are able to finish fights and then obviously go the distance as well. In terms of sort of knowing that you are able to have that versatility, I spoke before in terms of sort of having that confidence, but to know that wherever the fight goes, you are comfortable in those areas. How important do you feel as though that is for your game as well as a fighter?
It's good. It's, and I fight you have to be good all around now because especially in my weight class, everyone's good, everyone's fast, everyone's all around. So I think it's one of the most important things to be honest. Um, and especially like I said, flyweight.
Yeah, and then just one of the last few things for myself is obviously come fight night, when it does get there, what is it that you're looking to do and what do you expect the fans are going to be able to see come fight night?
Gonna expect, gonna expect clean striking. Wherever it goes, I'm gonna be ready. Wherever it goes, but be expecting a finish, good performance, good fight, and I'm expecting a finish. Yeah.
Well, that is everything from myself. If you'd like to take a chance at sponsors, things like that, obviously just feel
Um,
free to go ahead.
no sponsors at the moment. Currently looking, so if anyone wants to sponsor me, give a shout. But now it's big up my team, day walkers, Manchester's top team, all my coaches, training partners, and yeah, September the 16th.
100%. Well, appreciate your time today. Obviously, UKFC, be sure to tune in and sponsors. You heard the man. If
Yeah.
you want to sponsor him, be sure to contact him. But appreciate your time today, buddy. Thank you very much.
Nice one, mate. Cheers, appreciate it.
Cheers.